Welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Latoya and High Heels and Hustle is the internet home for women who are interested in personal development, self-discovery and creating multiple streams of online income. So if that sounds like your thing, come and join our growing family. Now, as you can tell by today's video, I am going on a solo date. And if you've been around for at least a couple of weeks, you will know that I am doing the 12-week year challenge. And so far, so good. So one of the things I committed to doing throughout this 12-week period is to be more intentional about self-care. Because let's be honest, self-care sounds good, it's a great idea, but how many of us actually make the time to invest in self-care? So I committed to spending at least 1 hour a week just having some self-care time, and it has really been rewarding. So for this week's self-care time, I thought I would go on a solo date as I've not done one for a while. And actually, I only started solo dating this year, and to be honest, it really does wonders. I used to see people do it and think, I don't know if I could do that. So if that sounds like you and you have anxiety about going out by yourself, you don't know where to go or what to do, make sure you keep watching because I'll be talking to you about the benefits of solo dating, why I started doing it, why I still do it, and why you should too. So I just need to finish getting ready and then we will be on our way. So make sure you stay with me on this solo date today. So this solo date was on a Sunday afternoon and I decided to wear what I had worn to church that Sunday because I think there's something really important about dressing up on a solo date. Chances are if somebody was taking you out on a date, you would dress up or at least make sure you look presentable. So why not dress up and show up for yourself? So that's exactly what I did. Made sure I had on a nice pair of heels. And also I just like to get the vibes going. So you'll see me here dancing and singing, just making sure that I'm enjoying myself from beginning to end. So let's talk about why I started solo dating. I have been on a journey of self-discovery and self-love for the past 3 years, and in future videos I will get into what led me to go on that journey. I've discovered that one of the best ways to discover who you are and to truly love yourself is to spend time by yourself, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with that, and if you're one of those people, at first it will feel strange, but the more you do it, just like anything else, the more you do it, the more you'll become comfortable with it. And if you think about when you're in a relationship with someone, you invest and make sure you spend quality time on a one-to-one basis with that person to get to know them and to strengthen your relationship. Well, if you want to strengthen your relationship with yourself, just imagine what it will do for you if you spend time getting to know yourself on that one-to-one basis. So another reason I started solo dating was because I wanted to go out more, and sometimes we put our lives on hold waiting for people to become available to accompany us to go somewhere. And I don't want to put my life on hold for anyone or anything. I want to live and maximize each moment that I have on this earth. And the third thing that led me to solo dating was a YouTuber that I watch called Maya Galore. And she goes on regular solo dates. I'm talking about once a week. I'm not there yet, but I do think that going on a solo date at least once a month is really, really worth it. But I remember watching Maya Galore and just thinking, if she can do it, why can't I? And so I hope that as you're watching this video that I will give you inspiration and encouragement to go on a solo date just like Maya did for me. So if you have been on a solo date, please comment below. Let us know where you've been, what you decided to do on your solo date, because there are so many things that you can do on a solo date. So here you can see I decided to go to a nice cafe near where I live, and this actually wasn't where I was intending to go, but as I walked past I was like, this looks nice, I've never been here before. So solo date ideas, you can go out to eat, whether that's breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner or a dessert place. You can visit a beach or a museum. You can go to the cinema, theatre or a concert. You don't even have to leave the house. You can cook yourself a fancy meal, a nice 3-course meal, and just enjoy that quality time by yourself. Also, if you're having your solo date at home, you can create an at-home spa, or if you are in a position to go out, Go out and treat yourself to a spa day. You can also travel by yourself. I've done this and I must say it's really great. But if you do have any insecurities about solo dating, I would not recommend starting with a solo trip, because that really does require you to be in a certain place mentally. So start with something that's maybe even just an hour or 2 hours, and then you can work your way up to going on a solo trip. Okay, so let's talk about the benefits of solo dating. Now, let me just say there are so many benefits of solo dating. I won't be able to cover them all in this video, but if you have found any benefits from solo dating, please comment and share them with us in the comment section below. So one of the things that solo dating really does help with is it's great for your mental health. It really gives you that opportunity to disconnect from the day-to-day stresses of your life, and also to just check in with yourself and see how you're really doing. Because people will say, "Oh, how are you?" And you say, "I'm fine, thanks, how are you?" But actually that's just a standard answer. We don't even think about that anymore. This gives you an opportunity on these solo dates to really check in with yourself and say, how am I really doing? How am I really feeling about all the things that's happening in my life? Am I on top of my schedules? Am I managing my time well? How am I doing emotionally? And all of these things are so important. So you will see here that I am writing in my journal. And journaling is something that I find really relaxing, and I just love looking back at some of the pages, and you can really see the growth. The things I was dealing with in January, I can see how I've been able to overcome some obstacles throughout this year, and it really gives you that sense check that, okay, this is where I was and this is where I am now. And it also helps you to see that maybe you're not in a good place right now. So journaling is definitely something that I recommend. Another benefit of solo dating is that it can improve your confidence. So like I said, at first you will feel self-conscious, but that's fine. Eventually you will get over it, okay? You will get over it. My first solo date, I was so nervous, and I just thought, Latoya, just do it. And I pushed myself to go, and I'm so glad I did. And I've had a couple since then. So going out alone can really help you to overcome any insecurities that you have about being alone. And it helps you to build your confidence to do what you want when you want. Like I said earlier, let's not put our lives on hold waiting for other people to become available. Solo dating is also a great method of self-love and self-care. People often want others to take them out and to treat them, but if you are not loving yourself the way you expect to be loved, how can you then teach someone how to love you correctly? So invest in self-care, self-love, and solo dating is a great way to do that. You also learn how to make your own choices. Now, I'm somebody that's quite indecisive when it comes to certain things, such as where I want to go or what I want to order on a menu. But being on a solo date, I have no choice. So, for example, I actually went out to look for somewhere where I could just get a nice mocktail and read a book. And I ended up getting a hot chocolate, which was really nice, by the way. You don't have anybody there to say, I'm not sure, should I get a hot chocolate today? Or where should we go to eat? You have to make all of those decisions yourself. You also learn to love your own company. Now, I remember when I was a teenager, and I hated going to the shopping centre by myself. And I never forget, my mum said to me one day, you need to learn to enjoy your own company because you don't know what life will bring. You've got to learn to be comfortable doing things by yourself. And to be honest, that's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever received. And maybe that's what's helped me, because over the years I have become comfortable with going out by myself and doing things by myself. So solo dating is really just another step on top of that. The book I'm reading on this solo date is called Finding Divine Flow by Kamel Daly, and I will link to the book in the description of this video because it's a really, really great book. A couple of things that I wrote down from this book. So as I was reading, I was also journaling and just writing down a couple of things that really were a blessing to me as I was reading. And I just want to share a couple of those with you. So the first thing I wrote down is who you are and what you have are potentially world changing. And I want to encourage you with that. Don't ever look at who you are and what you have as insignificant. because you have a purpose. I honestly believe if you're still alive, if you're still here, you still have a purpose. And there is something inside of you. The woman that you are becoming is going to help somebody else. So just know that you have significance, and what you have inside of you and who you are is world changing. The second thing I wrote down is know, love, and appreciate how far you've come. Can I get an amen in the comments? Because so often as women, we're juggling so many different things that we don't really take the time to appreciate how far we've come. And it's so important that we do that. It's important to recognize that even the parts of our story that we don't like, all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly, have made us who we are today. So know, love, and appreciate how far you've come. The third and final thing I will share with you from the book today is the process is the making of you. I don't need to explain that. I really just want to encourage you with that statement. The process is the making of you. So I hope I've inspired you to go on a solo date, to invest in self-care, to invest in yourself. And if you do decide to go on a solo date, comment below and let me know how you found it and where you've decided to go. Thank you so much for joining me on my solo date, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.